It's Brown Sugar coming at you. Yeah, guess what? I have a story time for you today. Yeah, it's something that happened about a year ago. Actually, it was a year and 3 days ago. It's not a good story, as you can tell by the title. Okay, see what happened was once upon a time, there was these two drivers. Both of them was a bus driver. Well, no one knows the full detail of what actually happened. But one day, November 7th, 2017, they decided to come to work. And apparently they was angry at each other. They had a few arguments, but it never led it up to anything. On this particular day, it did. Well, they argued back and forth. They went at each other back and forth. Well, all of a sudden, one decided to get off his bus. We're going to name him Bob. Well, Bob decided to get off his bus. Meanwhile, Eddie, we're going to name the other guy Eddie. This is Bob and Eddie. The names have been fabricated. Anyway, Bob got off his bus. Well, Eddie, he decided that he didn't like that. So he took out a gun and he shot at Bob. Yes, you heard me right. Eddie shot at Bob. When Eddie decided to drive off, he hit Bob with his bus. Thank God he missed him with the gunshot. Anyway, when all was said and done, Bob ended up in the hospital. Eddie was on the run. He parked his bus somewhere and got out and walked. He ended up at home. Eddie ended up at home. Bob ended up in the hospital. Anyway, they looked for Eddie. They finally found him at home. They took him to jail. He bailed out. Bob was at the hospital or in the hospital after surgery and been in the hospital for about 2 weeks. Was able to go home. Yay! No. Mm-mm. Maybe 3 days after Bob got home, all of a sudden, he died. He died at home. It was a blood clot that he ended up getting. And after they had the autopsy, they deemed it from the accident. So Eddie was back in jail. Then then he got out again and waited for court. Well, we all went to the funeral for Bob. And that was pretty hard to get through. You know, a driver that you've known, that you've trained, that you've worked with is gone. And for what? And another one facing charges. Well, by the time Eddie went to court, he was sentenced to 32 years in prison for killing Eddie. I mean, for killing Bob. Eddie was not going to handle that. He wasn't going to deal with that. He was not going to spend 32 years in prison. So, about a week and a half after Bob died, Eddie shot himself in his living room at his home. So now we have two bus drivers gone. Two families gone, and we don't really know why. We don't know the real cause of it. All we know is these two guys was angry. And when it was all said and done, they both was dead. So we have two wives, two families, many children on both sides without a father. There's a lot of anger going around, y'all. A lot of anger. Y'all, sometimes you just need to let things go. It's time to pray more and let things go because it was just senseless. Yep, not a good story, but a true one. Story time over. I hope all is well. I hope y'all enjoyed the story time, even though it was sad, senseless, and wasn't called for. Didn't have to happen. But I just wanted to come and talk about it. It's been a year, and it's still on my mind, and it's hard to deal with. But I still pray for the families and wish them well and peace. Anyway, you guys, I love y'all. Y'all be careful out there. Stay safe. One love.